great Venn diagram of high net worth luxury living. Bentley owners have garages full of cars, 7 other cars on average. They might have a yacht, possibly plural. They have homes in exotic postcodes, definitely plural. So when it comes to replacing the most successful ever product in the company's history, the company of course was taken over by the Volkswagen Group back in the early noughties, you've got to figure the stakes are pretty high. Design really is the principal differentiator at this end of the game, so the new Continental GT manages to keep faith with the design and styling cues that made the original model so successful. So what we're talking about there are the big propulsive rear haunches, if a car can have haunches, kind of subtle design line around the window here, strong surfacing throughout the body, and then at the front, borderline bling front grille and big expressive headlights. So bearing in mind how successful the Continental GT has been, I can't blame people at Bentley for being a bit nervous about throwing their very profitable big baby out with the bathwater. The design director at Bentley, who's a chap called Stefan Silaf, charming guy, very well dressed, very GQ actually, told me that Continental GT customers need to find the car immediately, and he admits there's a challenge between doing something radical or evolving it. So does the Conti GT look familiar at first glance? Yeah, it kind of does. It's supposed to reassure the customers. But the more you get into it, the more detail, the more subtleties, the more nuances you find. Principle amongst which is that the guys, the engineers, have extended the car's wheelbase, which adds to its drama, its charisma, and its sheer expensiveness. There's an all-new chassis. It's much lighter and much stiffer. And Bentley's 6-litre twin-turbo W12 engine has been extensively reworked to deliver more power, 626 bhp, more torque, and improved efficiency. Underneath, the suspension system uses a very sophisticated 48-volt architecture. It eliminates kind of traditional anti-roll bars, and that eliminates body roll, and the car overall will feel really agile and really dynamic and a lot lighter than it actually is. Underneath, the hardware is related to the setup you find in the Porsche Panamera. And it's fast. It'll do 207 miles per hour and 0 to 62 miles per hour in 3.7 seconds. Really quite brisk. But because it's a Bentley, it's designed to be dramatically undramatic. A true gentleman's express. Inside, Bentley has done a really remarkable job of blending high technology with old-fashioned tactility and atmosphere. It's a pity we can't bring this film to you with full smell-o-vision, because this has got to be the most fragrant, beautifully perfumed interior I've sat in for a while. It's all that lovely leather. With the greatest will in the world, the old car was getting seriously off the pace in terms of connectivity and in-car technology. Well, they brought this one bang up to date, and I think the star of the show, although the dials directly ahead of the driver's eye line are pretty cool, is this central rotating screen. Right now it's showing BBC 6 music, other radio stations are available, that's a particularly good one. All the other functions, sat-nav, all the rest of it, all the displays, they're all here. But clients at the very high end in the automotive world quite often like all that stuff to go away. They want it there, they don't necessarily want to see it. So you do that, and away it goes. And we are left with, well, 3 analog dials. It's very pretty, they're beautifully backlit, and like everything else in here, there's that diamond knurled effect that Bentley's so fond of, that kind of echoes the cut glass whiskey tumbler, which was one of their design influences. I wanted to show you that this line here, that bisects the whole of the top of the dashboard here, creates a kind of pinstripe effect. And the other thing that's absolutely gorgeous in here is there's a kind of bronze inlay effect in all the buttons on the aircon here. Everything, you just want to touch it and smell it. It is beautiful.